sound just like him. I fuck with him up when he said
He be puff on the streets. He be out there wooing. You be wooing the ladies.
Hey, that's my nigga. They do call me Puff.
Nah, Puff.
What up, bro? Hey, that's my nigga.
Why they call you Puff?
That's my nickname.
Yeah, but why? I gotta. Man, we've been besties ever since we've been toddlers. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah, that's a real friendship right there. Yeah. Are we getting sound on this bitch now? That's what I want to know. No sound on that one? Oh, that was the, oh, it said live just now. That was the, oh, it said live just now. Alright, we got sound. That was the, was a nephew, you know what I'm saying? They said his mom was a virgin, so when he was born, they told him he was sent from God, so he started going to village to village. You going to tell me I'm going to heaven? Please tell me when you talk to the dead, who you met that came from the dead. Show me a picture and show me some proof. Explain to me why the fuck Benjamin Franklin stood his ass up on the roof. How he discovered something out the sky? If that's the case. Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
I got drunk last night.
Just waking up?
You said what?
You just waking up?
No, I've been up. I just don't want to get.
Knock me out the top of the game, but I understand they truth is all.
All right.
Timu. Antarctica has been the source of high strangeness for a long time. Rumors of UFOs and alien bases go back to the 1930s. Hitler wanted to build bases there. Some people think he did. Operation High Jump arrived in 1946 with a heavily armed U.S. Navy fleet. Their mission was to extend American sovereignty over Antarctica. The mission was supposed to take 6 months. Instead, it lasted 6 weeks. The operation ended because of poor weather. At least that's the official report. Eyewitnesses said aggressive flying disc-shaped craft chased the Navy out of the area. In 1985, a medevac flight was forced over a no-fly zone near the South Pole. The crew saw a giant hole in the ice, as wide as a football field. When the crew returned to base, they were debriefed. Not by the Navy, by men in suits. One of the crewmen said they had the typical DC look. In the 1990s, Navy flight crews reported silver discs zipping over mountain peaks at impossible speeds. The crews were told to never speak of it. In 2003, a Navy SEAL on a covert mission found an ancient structure protruding through the ice. It was made of something that wasn't quite metal, but wasn't quite stone. It was warm to the touch. And on that structure was the door. In 2018, scientists in Antarctica launched weather balloons to study cosmic rays coming from space and hitting the Earth. They found cosmic rays, as expected, but what they didn't expect, the cosmic rays were coming from something 2 miles underneath the ice. There are witnesses who have seen things, heard things, and felt things that should not exist in Antarctica, yet they do. Whatever's down there, we're not supposed to know about it. But one thing's for sure, something very strange and very important is happening at the bottom of the world.
Are you recording? The light's not blinking. Okay. Here we go.
Hold on, that's the YouTube speaker. Let me
Hello,
turn.
humans. My name is Hecklefish Moriarty,
Turn the
and this is my Timu
names
audition
on
reel.
down.
You may already know me as the host of the Y-Files. What? Okay, fine. Co-host, and a link in the description box for all my aquarium Everybody, back.
Air and visibility was good. From the National Science Foundation. And
All right, so this dude is moving. He got Timu sponsors. That's crazy. All right, yeah. Mysteries Beneath the Ice. The Secrets of Antarctica.
Panel and wireless doorbell. I'm Hecklefish, and this was my Timu audition. Please pick me. I've dreamed of this since I was a guppy. How was that? You know what? Let's do one more for safety. Everybody, back to one.
in November November 1995, a Navy flight engineer who wishes to be known as Brian was part of a U.S. Navy C-130 crew. The plane flew low circles around Marie Byrd Land. This was an area in the southwest part of Antarctica where 15 scientists set up camp. The plane was dispatched from McMurdo Base, a few hundred miles east of camp. The protocol is for scientists to radio every day and report their status. McMurdo hadn't heard from the science team in a couple of days. That was bad. The scientists were from the National Science Foundation, and their mission was routine. Study weather conditions, take ice samples, note wildlife, that sort of thing. They had no reason to wander away from camp. Even if they did, they'd be dead within an hour anyway. The C-130 flew in tighter and tighter circles. The crew could easily see the camp. The weather was clear and visibility was good. They could see the huts, fuel tanks, some equipment. Snowmobiles were lined up. Everything seemed to be in order. A C-130 Hercules is a 4-engine turboprop. It's big. It's loud. If there was a problem, this is the point where people should be popping out of huts and waving their arms, but nothing. The rescue crew landed and took a look around. 15 scientists were dropped off here about a week ago. They had enough supplies to last a month, but nobody's here. There's no tracks, no signs of anything. The crew checked the radio. It was working fine. They radioed their commanding officer at McMurdo.
There were no people, no bodies, no signs of a struggle. It's like they just vanished. What do we do?
The orders came back. They were obvious. There's really nothing you can do. Fly one last search pattern and return to base. So the C-130 made a few wider circles to see if there's any sign of the science team. There was nothing. After an hour or so, they flew back to McMurdo. The missing scientists were a mystery, but Antarctica is a dangerous place. People do die there from time to time. Anything could have happened. But over a week later, the C-130 crew gets an urgent command. Immediately return to the Marie Byrd Land camp. The scientists somehow are back. They just radioed in, and they were in a panic. They want to get out of there, and they want to get out right now. Antarctica is one of Earth's most isolated and unexplored places. Over 98% is buried beneath ice sheets that are 2 and sometimes even 3 miles thick. Despite extreme weather and limited access, discoveries are being made in Antarctica that hint at extraterrestrial activity, advanced technology, and lost civilizations hidden under the miles of ice. Recent satellite images reveal several pyramid and pyramid-like structures poking through the icy landscape. The official explanation is that these are natural rock formations, but there's one pyramid built with precise geometry, with each side lining up perfectly with true north, south, east, and west. Something like this wouldn't occur in nature. This looks like intelligent design. One enormous 1.2-mile-wide pyramid was found, and it could be the oldest on Earth, suggesting all others were styled after it. Is this another hint that an ancient race built these monuments to generate energy? And this takes us back to the story of Tesla, trying to create free, unlimited wireless energy with his Wardenclyffe Tower experiments. He attempted to use technology that may have been used in the Great Pyramid of Giza long ago.
Tesla Pyramid link below, human.
According to the Knights Templar, the true purpose of each pyramid is to store an ark, just like the Ark of the Covenant. They claim there were 10 of these arks scattered around the world that, when connected, generated unlimited energy for everyone on Earth.
Knights Templar link below.
90 million years ago, Antarctica was a rainforest. We have core samples to prove it. That's not controversial. Geologists claim Antarctica has been frozen and uninhabited for over 12 million years. So who's building pyramids beneath hundreds or thousands of feet of ice? Well, nobody. But what if Antarctica had a warmer climate more recently than 12 million years ago? Much more recently. The Pinkerton map, drawn in 1818, was the most accurate in the world. Well, almost. If you look at the southern hemisphere on the Pinkerton map, Nothing exists, just open sea.
Yo, good
Now,
morning,
that
guys.
makes sense. Antarctica wasn't discovered until 1820. It wasn't confirmed to be a landmass until 1840. But older maps show Antarctica not as a giant frozen continent, but as a land free of ice, a land where plants and animals lived. And these maps go back to the 1500s. In 1513, the Piri Reis map was compiled.
Pee-wee Reese?
Piri Reis.
What'd I say?
The Piri Reis map shows the coastline of Antarctica and the animals living there. The Orontius Phineus map is dated 1531. The entire continent of Antarctica is there, and there's no indication of ice at all. It shows mountain ranges that we know are there. The Piri Reis map only shows the coastline of Antarctica, but the Orontius map shows interior features of the continent. And now, because of satellite imagery, we know those features are there. They're just covered under miles of ice. If you sailed to Antarctica during the 1500s when these two maps were drawn, you'd find exactly what you'd find now. Nothing.
Yo, what's good, bro?
Not much. Trying to keep my head over water over what just recently happened. So
What's going on?
I mean, I'm surprised I'm not tripping about it as opposed to like what happened back in 2021 when my other account got hacked.
What happened?
But, yeah, it's me.
I know it's you.
MJ one day.
I know you, but what happened? What are you talking about?
Oh, okay. Remember when I? Oh shit. Excuse me. Yeah. So like, God damn. Shit. Excuse me. All right. So remember when I had this other art account called MJR Page,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that one got hacked back in 2021. So I ended up creating a new account called The John Artist. Now, this past Sunday, something happened where, God damn, it's like dust. My account got suspended. That's probably why you couldn't find me.
Suspended for what? Suspended for what?
That's the thing I'm trying to figure out. When they suspended me, they didn't. Meta did that, and they didn't give me like a full specific explanation as to why it got suspended. It just said that I went against community guidelines, certain rules.
So a suspension that's not a hack though. Like you just.
No, it's not hacked. I'm not saying that it got hacked. It just got suspended. So they said that I can appeal it. That I have 90 days to appeal it, but something tells me I'm not going to get that account back because, first off, it was actually through Facebook. Because Facebook owns Instagram, and Facebook is owned by Meta.
So your Facebook is down too?
Huh?
Your Facebook is down as well?
Yeah, my Facebook is down too. So I just now have this and TikTok. The only thing I can think of was that I put up a photo of Nas and Tupac and Redman on my page for a split second, and I just suddenly decided to take it off because I figured like, man, it's not a good idea. So I wanted to basically share a story of how I wanted to incorporate that image, this particular image in my painting. But what I forgot to do was take it off of my Facebook business account because it was set up. My Instagram was set up where it was linked to my Facebook business account. So whatever I share there, it automatically gets shared into my Facebook business account. So that's the only thing I can think of. Because in the photo, Tupac and Redman, I put up the middle finger. That's the only thing I can think of. But I took it off immediately. And just days later, all of a sudden, my stuff is gone.
Mm-hmm. So you can't log into neither one of them, or you just can't post from it?
I couldn't log in at all.
Oh, damn.
The only thing they allowed me to do was to follow some link to that's where you go to appeal the decision. But once you go there, you can't find anything that will lead you to doing the appeal. That's the weird part. So I found like different emails that I can reach out to them and explain the situation, but I haven't heard from anybody yet. So something tells me I'm not gonna get that account back.
Yeah. I don't know. People have I've heard other people just being banned for mysterious reasons like that, where it's like, well, what happened? And then like my Facebook account has never been banned, but I've got some of my posts banned. And then I used to post so much, and I still do post a good bit on Facebook, but it's like, if I post some shit and then 4 or 5 days later the post is banned and it says, oh well, we took this post down for these reasons, but then they won't show you which post it was, and then sometimes I can't even remember, like, what the fuck did I post and why did you take it down? Because I know I don't post anything super violent or anything that's gratuitous or grotesque, or my shit is mostly just funny memes or news clips or information and shit. So when they be taking my fucking post down, it's like, but why? But why did you take it down? You don't, and then you won't tell me which post you took down.
Exactly, and the thing is that really gets me about Facebook/Instagram is that they have posts out there that has much worse content. You know, a woman shaking their asses or someone getting hit or whatever. Those platforms are not taken down, if you notice. But if I was to show some art that's maybe just a bare skin, it's taken down saying, oh, it's showing nudity, and because that happened to me before. I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, this shows there's no nudity. All you're seeing is bare skin, but you're not seeing the nipple or the vagina showing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I never sat down and read through all the community guidelines for these platforms. I know they seem kind of weird and fucked up. So, but you know, it's these private companies get to run that shit the way they want and get to ban people with indiscretion. So that's why I just try to be cautious on my shit and make sure that I don't say anything that's inappropriate or share or post things that are inappropriate, because I try to use my social media for networking and business opportunities, and this is how I connect with a lot of clients and buyers, and a way that I can get other people interested in my art. So if I want to keep this platform nice and steady, I already know, like, there's certain shit that you just gotta be careful of. And that's
what I want to do from now on is, like, I'll just create like a separate account, so I'll use that account so I can say whatever the hell I want. And this one I'll just keep it for like art purposes, because I was using the other account to say almost whatever I want, but I still try to keep it friendly as possible. But it's still like that's no. But I'm telling you, I've seen a lot worse stuff. And the crazy part is that I found out that they haven't taken down my hack page. They still have it up there. See, this is the thing that I don't understand about Facebook, Instagram. When you try to report something or report an issue, they're MIA. But when the moment you post something that they find offensive, they take action immediately.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, I've seen worse shit. I have seen worse shit, bro. There was a live. I must have saw this either probably 2022 or the year prior. I saw this random live out of nowhere. It was, I think, some guy. He had some girls, do some, some of these guys. I guess they have like some whatever type of adult thing going on, and he had some girls show their stuff to him. Bro, I tell you no lie. One of them had her panties off and had her bare pussy showing and was rubbing it. No lie, literally rubbing it for everybody to see. And I'm thinking, wait a minute. And at some point, I'm expecting this live to be shut off immediately. It never got shut off.
That's wild.
Never got shut off. And I'm thinking, what the hell is going on? Don't they see this woman that's showing her bare pussy and rubbing it in front of everybody? So it's like, it seemed like they pick and choose what to take off.
No. I don't know, bro.
That's why I'm now, my fiance helped me in finding like some black social media platforms. I'm gonna go to them too and promote my work on over there too. I don't want to no longer depend on Instagram and Facebook completely to share and promote my artwork.
Yeah, I know there's like a bunch of alternative apps and different sites. Yeah, if you find some cool shit, let me know, man. Start diversifying.
I just downloaded Fanbase and this other one called Spills because they said that those are black owned. So I'm gonna check those out.
Fanbase?
Huh?
You said it was called what?
Fanbase. That one is owned by Isaac Hayes' son. So I'm never gonna check that one out, see what it's about. So I've been saying like, yo, we need to own our own major social media platform and start depending on Instagram and Facebook because like it's showing us that they don't really want us to really thrive like that. The moment we put up like some real inspiring content or anything black political, they're taking that down.
Mm-hmm. I know, hell, 7, 8 years ago, you can find almost anything that goes against the mainstream narrative of the events on 9/11 and 2001. All of that shit is scrubbed. And when you get into like black studies and stuff, like all the Amos Wilson documentaries and all his lectures and stuff that I used to watch, all of that shit is starting to get scrubbed from the internet. And it's like, yo, YouTube is fucking taking all of that shit out, yo.
Yeah, because YouTube is owned by Meta.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed that. I was like, oh boy, here we go.
It's all
because Meta is owning everything now.
No, it's Google.
It owns
Google.
Instagram.
Google owns YouTube.
It owns WhatsApp. I think it owns also X, formerly known as Twitter.
No.
It owns YouTube. I found on YouTube. I said, oh boy, here we go.
No, I think Google. No, I think Google owns YouTube.
Or probably Google and them have a partnership. Because I saw them on the Meta, so they probably made a partnership.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Of a man for the very first time publicly. I'm going to bring the pain
Nice.
I usually bring out a good couple things, but this time I only figured out bring two because the cost of the space, wall space, is starting to get pretty expensive. But I could understand why they gotta pay for the rent space and all that, so I get it. But damn, it never was, because when I first started, it wasn't, the cost wasn't that expensive, but now it's starting to get pretty up there, so. Eventually, I'm gonna get to a point where I can just have my own art shows.
That's the key right there. But at the same time,
what's the status of that painting? It's almost finished, or you still got more to go?
Oh no, I got a while on this. I'll probably be detailing this armor for a week or so, probably. But once I get this armor done, everything else, like, this is the main part that's left, is the armor.
Okay.
Yo, good morning, everybody. Yo, my man Fleazy Does It stop by. What's good, bro? Yeah, right now I'm just like trying to add all the last little bit of highlights.
Okay.
And a little bit of contrast. Like I said, this shit should be, I don't know, maybe like another week. And then I gotta after I finish this piece, I'm gonna put some new stuff on canvas before I move on to the next piece.
Okay.
Cause after I do this one, I only got one other canvas that's prepared and ready to paint.
I got one right there waiting to be touched, but I'm not gonna wait till I get a new easel.
Wait.
This easel right here it's too limited in size.
Yeah. What's your next piece gonna be?
Wow. I mean, I already have an idea of what I'm gonna paint. I have two ideas actually. So I read I finally finished Malcolm X's autobiography, and then there was this one thing he said that really caught my attention. It really stuck with me. He said something about the oppressors wanting us deaf, dumb, and blinded. Maybe not in that same way how I just said it, but I do remember him saying deaf, dumb, and blinded, and that stuck with me. That made me think of automatically the idea. Like, oh wow. So I'm definitely gonna put that to existence. Then I always wanted to paint this image of John Coltrane and his group, the John Coltrane Quartet. So I found this real dope picture of all four of them together, like in a conversation and laughing. And being that they all died off, McCoy Tyner, the pianist, he was the last one to pass away in 2020. So being that I found that picture, I was like, that'd be dope if I like make like a painting of all four of them. So that's another idea. I'm gonna probably get another big canvas, just like that size or bigger, because I want to do 2 different ones. Then I'm inspired to maybe do some of Bob Marley, because I saw the Bob Marley movie. Even though I felt that it wasn't that great of a movie as I was hoping it to be, but still, now I'm inspired to do some of Bob Marley. So I never did a painting of Bob Marley. I've always drew him, but I never did a painting of him. Like a full, like, I did something where I didn't incorporate paint, but it was more of like a drawing. So by this time, I would think it'd be dope if I actually did an actual painting of him. So, so I have pretty like different ideas. I'm just gonna wait till I get a new easel.
So you ain't gonna do no more painting today?
Huh?
You're not gonna do any more painting until you get an easel?
No, I'm talking about like I'm talking like the big paints. That's what I mean. I'm working on something right now, but it's small.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Is it possible I can see it from full image?
You said what now?
So I was saying, is it possible I can see the thing in full image?
Oh, yeah, hold up. 1 second.
Alright, no problem. Oh wow.
Oh, hold up.
Wow, real dope.
It's coming along, like I say, slowly but surely.
That's real dope.
It's just that this
Just the arm, like the armor alone.
yeah, I got a bunch of more white highlights, and some of the oranges get real bright in some areas, so I'm trying to get some of that in there. Like I said, it's basically the last part. Tightening up some of these lines and like brightening up some of these whites and fading some of the lines out a little bit. So it'll be a little minute, but I feel like this the last major part of it. So I feel like it's looking pretty good right now.
Yeah, that's dope. And it was like, that's coming from like, and that was like an AI, coming from an AI photograph that you put together yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's dope.
Yeah, a little bit more. Like I said, the armor is gonna be like the main focus, and it turns into like a robe at the bottom. But then a little bit more on this building here, and a few more details on the people in the front, and then it'll be a wrap after that. Hold on, I might pause for a second. Right. But yeah, that's listening to some of the mysteries of Antarctica. I'm a really big believer in lost civilizations. And so that's why I'm doing this whole series. But this guy is talking about some stuff.
The map show. Why? Because these maps are based on much older maps. But how old is the big question? And it's a question that mainstream scientists don't want to answer. Because the last time parts of the coast of Antarctica were free of ice was at least 6,000 years ago. The human race was not supposed to be sailing the globe back then. But the Orontes Phineas map shows the entire continent free of ice. How could this be? Because it's based on a map that was drawn not 6,000 years ago, but 12,000 years ago. And the reason Antarctica wasn't covered in ice? Well, it wasn't at the South Pole.
And at one point in time, Antarctica was civilization. So it's interesting. I believe it.
Charles Hapgood was a Harvard-educated historian and explorer. His radical theories about Earth's geologic history made him famous and controversial. Hapgood believed that Antarctica had a temperate climate not too long ago, and living there was an advanced ancient civilization.
Atlantis?
Don't get ahead of me.
Sorry, I'm excited. Go ahead.
So there's a civilization living on Antarctica.
So which movie that was? Alien and Predator?
Remember, Antarctica is a huge continent. There's plenty of land for civilization to exist, as long as the continent's not too far south, which it wasn't.
And it was interesting because she was one like the very few black actors that survived in a movie like that. So
suddenly, a crustal displacement
actually
violently relocated Antarctica into frigid polar latitudes 12,000 years ago. Hapgood believed evidence indicated that portions of the planet's surface could shift dramatically along the molten inner layers. This could conceivably transform entire continents virtually overnight.
So did they ever
Hapgood also used the Orontes Phineas map to help support his theory. Not only is Antarctica free of ice, it's not in the right place.
Freeze.
Well, they say it was just like a continental drift, right? Isn't that why Antarctica is cold now? Because of continental drift? Where it used to be in a warm climate.
Oh, like the kind of like split it up?
Yeah.
Like that? Probably.
That's what I always thought, that it used to be in a very warm area. And then that shit just drifted to a very cold area.
That could be the case.
Or some people say the pole shift did it. Say when the poles shift, it fucking pushed the continents down in different areas. There's all kind of hypotheses about why Antarctica is frozen now, but at the same time, most people will absolutely say that it wasn't always frozen. That shit definitely was a lush green, like tropical place for a long ass fucking time. But then they'll say, well, it was lush and green way before human civilization ever started, and it only had primitive and primordial fauna and wildlife. And it's like, yeah, but how do you know? How do you know that there wasn't a civilization back then?
That's the thing. I don't think nobody will ever really know.
I think people already know. They just don't tell everybody. there's a bunch of shit that will always and forever remain hidden. Always and forever remain hidden, man. Cause I think somebody, some way, knows something about something.
Oh yeah, true, very true.
Mm-hmm.
That is no full truth.
Whether it was the
like in X-Files, you know.
exactly.
I don't know if you ever watched X-Files. I'm pretty sure you did, but
who Fox Mulder and Dana Scully.
Put me onto X-Files and how they just kept preventing what's the guy's name?
Fox Mulder. Fox Mulder.
Yeah. I mean, they keep every time they get so close to finding out the truth, they just the government always gets in the way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just for the show that they'll never will allow you to know the full truth.
Mm-mm. Always gonna be a secret somewhere. Always gonna be a secret somewhere. Yo, my man Sketch, what's good, bro?
Antarctica has shifted 1,000 miles away from the South Pole. That's a polar shift of 7.5 degrees. Hapgood said the shift could have happened in less than a week, maybe even in a single day. If Hapgood's theory is correct, the destruction would have been catastrophic. If Antarctica suddenly traveled 1,000 miles toward the South Pole, any civilization would be destroyed, and the layers of ice would start building immediately. The crust floats on the mantle, and tectonic plates are always in motion. They move away from each other, they collide with each other, but this process takes millions of years. What could possibly cause the Earth's pole to shift 7.5 degrees in a single day? Well, in 1974, Italian naval engineer Flavio Barriero published A Civilization Under the Ice. He proposed that the remains of a lost civilization may lie under the ice of Antarctica. He says that Antarctica had a temperate climate home to a thriving civilization. Then the entire continent was suddenly thrown to the South Pole due to a major impact event.
My account got suspended, so this is my new account. It's MJX the artist, so give it a follow.
Ends up here. If there was a giant asteroid impact between 12 and 13,000 years ago, it could have caused a shift in the Earth's crust. We know something about 12,800 years ago suddenly caused the Earth to warm. That warming melted the Earth's ice sheets, and sea levels rose hundreds of feet. What if another result of this impact was a shifting in the Earth's poles of 7.5 degrees? Then suddenly the Orontius-Phineas map makes perfect sense. But that leaves the biggest question of all.
Yeah, but who drew the map?
Right. Clearly, whatever civilization drew the map was highly advanced. The Orontius map shows features that you can really only see from the air.
Atlantis. This is the story of Atlantis.
All of this does fit nicely with the story of Atlantis. The island nation, the advanced people, the sudden cataclysm. Every chronological event lines up perfectly. So what happened to the civilization when miles of ice started piling on top of their cities? Where did they go? Well, they didn't go anywhere. They're still down there. Brian's C-130 rescue team mobilized out of McMurdo Base and was on the ground at Marie Birdland Base in less than 2 hours. When the plane landed, the crew saw that the scientists had haphazardly packed all their gear on pallets and were eager to get the hell out of there. The science team boarded the aircraft in absolute silence. The crew asked them what was wrong. Are they okay? Is there anything they could do to help? The scientists just stared in silence, almost catatonic. They were clearly in shock. The crew offered them food and hot coffee. Silence. From wheels up to wheels down is 2 hours, and nobody uttered a word. When the C-130 landed at McMurdo, the scientists were told they were going on another plane. For some reason, they didn't want to move, or couldn't. Someone had to go into the plane, physically unbuckle and remove each scientist from their seat. These people clearly saw something and were suffering from PTSD. They walked like zombies to the other plane, and they were gone. Their research gear was placed in an empty storage facility and locked. The rescue crew was told not to go in there. The equipment was quarantined. The gear would stay locked and guarded until transported to a different location. Nobody knew it then, but that gear would eventually be taken to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base in Ohio. If you know your UFO lore, you know that one of the places recovered craft go is Wright-Patterson. Wright-Patterson was also the headquarters of Project Blue Book, the Air Force UFO Investigation Unit. Anyway, the C-130 rescue crew was called into the commander's office. Inside the office were 2 men in plain clothes who had just arrived from Washington, D.C.
Men in black.
Yep. They told the crew that they would never speak of this incident. Not the missing scientists. None of this ever happened. The crew flight engineer, Brian, was fine with this. This wasn't his first keep-your-mouth-shut meeting. He had this very same meeting in this very same room about 10 years earlier. But that first meeting wasn't about people and equipment on the ground. It was a meeting about what Brian saw in the sky. In 2003, a Navy SEAL team was dispatched from McMurdo Base to the Beardmore Glacier region. Officially, they were doing routine reconnaissance. Unofficially, it was an extraction operation. The team was to find a scientist, gather his research, and return him to base. The SEAL team commander was codenamed Spartan 1. It was made very clear to him and his team that the research was extremely important and had to be protected at all costs. Now, of course, Spartan 1 agreed, but this was an odd request. As far as they knew, this researcher was just some scientist taking pictures of a glacier. And that was true, but it was much more than that. As the SEAL team approached their destination, they saw the top of a black octagon. It was protruding about 18 feet above the melting ice and snow. Spartan 1 approached and saw a huge door. It was 23 feet high and had markings that he thought looked like a star map. Also engraved in the door was a triangle with 2 lines crossing through the center. This is a symbol that's popped up in various places around the world throughout history. Journalist Linda Moulton Howe, who interviewed Spartan 1 and other witnesses, showed him the picture of a coin found in Mexico City in 1993. It had the same markings.
Have you ever seen anything like that?
Well, that was on the outside of the door of the structure. It was top right-hand corner of the door.
Spartan 1 gently pushed on the door. It was over 20 feet tall and 18 feet thick. It opened easily. It was perfectly balanced. The SEAL team entered the building. The external temperature was 40 degrees below zero. Inside the building, the temperature varied between 68 and 72 degrees. The door gently closed behind them, leaving the team in eerie silence. And the room was huge. It covered 9 acres, almost 400,000 square feet. The room was as long as 7 football fields. It took Spartan 1 and his team quite a while to walk the length of the hallway. The walls were generating a soft lime green light, though they couldn't see how. It was as if the light was coming from the walls themselves. And on the walls were rows and rows of carved characters. Spartan 1 said they reminded him of Egyptian hieroglyphics or Mayan glyphs, but they definitely weren't either. The SEAL team found their scientists taking pictures and samples of the structure. They asked him how big this place was. He pointed to a ramp at the end of the room. The ramp extended down into the rest of the building. He said in total it covered 62 acres. That's over 2.7 million square feet. It was huge and mostly under the ice. And this was only one of several structures in the area. Now this was 2003. At this time, this giant door was the only way into the structure. But in the years since, other entrances have been found. But the only way to access them is by submarine. Subs have been going 2 miles under the ice to enter the structures. And unlike that top room, the facility's lower levels are occupied. And they're not occupied by humans. Brian's odd rescue mission of the disappearing scientists wasn't his first experience with Antarctica's high strangeness. In the early 1980s, his C-130 crew flew lots of missions over Antarctica. These were usually trips to resupply research stations and transport cargo and personnel, mostly routine stuff. He called them milk runs. Then one mission changed everything. Brian received word his crew was to prepare for the emergency transport of an injured scientist at Davis Station on the opposite side of Antarctica. After taking on additional medical staff at McMurdo Station, they set course for the Trans-Antarctic Mountains. Approaching the South Pole, Brian noticed his navigator plotting an unusual course. He was heading straight over a remote camp labeled Air Sampling Station. It was a no-fly zone, so off-limits to planes. But with a life on the line, the crew violated the no-fly zone. As the plane gained altitude, Brian saw something he would never forget. There was a 300-foot-wide hole carved in the ice. There were tracks all over the area and tracks extending down inside the hole. There was clearly a lot of activity around this air sampling station. Brian and his crew didn't understand why there was so much secrecy over an ice hole in the middle of nowhere.
You stay away from that asparagus ice hole, you asparagus sneaky bastard. Johnny Dangerously?
Yeah, I got it. After delivering their patients safely to McMurdo, the crew was summoned to the commander's office.
I was summoned to the commander's office once, human. Once.
Enough with the Johnny Dangerously references, okay? In the room was an officer they'd never seen before. Also present were 2 men dressed in suits.
Men in black.
Yep.
Again.
Yep. The new officer asked about the decision to violate the no-fly zone. The crew explained they had no choice. The patient would have died if they had to fly all the way around. Then the officer just started slowly pacing back and forth, thinking to himself. Finally, he looked at the men in suits, who stepped forward. They said, "Okay, gentlemen, what you saw, you did not see. You were not over that area. You will never go over that area. You will never ever talk about this ever again. Understood?" The crew agreed. Brian's been retired from the Navy for a few years, and even though he's never signed a non-disclosure, one mission changed everything.
Did I miss what they saw? I didn't hear him say what he saw.
For the emergency transport of an injured scientist at Davis Station on the opposite side of Antarctica. After taking on additional medical staff at McMurdo Station, they set course for the Trans-Antarctic Mountains. Approaching the South Pole, Brian noticed his navigator plotting an unusual course. He was heading straight over a remote camp labeled Air Sampling Station. It was a no-fly zone, so off-limits to planes. But with a life on the line, the crew violated the no-fly zone. As the plane gained altitude, Brian saw something he would never forget. There was a 300-foot wide hole carved in the ice. There were tracks all over the area and tracks extending down inside the hole. There was clearly a lot of activity around this air sampling station. Brian and his crew didn't understand why there was so much secrecy over an ice hole in the middle of nowhere.
You stay away from that asparagus ice hole, you asparagus, you sneaky bastard. Johnny Dangerously?
Yeah, I got it. After delivering their patients safely to McMurdo, the crew was summoned to the commander's office.
I was summoned to the commander's office once, human. Once.
Enough with the Johnny Dangerously references, okay? In the room was an officer they'd never seen before. Also present were two men dressed in suits.
Men in black.
Yep.
Again.
Yep. The new officer asked about the decision to violate the no-fly zone. The crew explained they had no choice. The patient would have died if they had to fly all the way around. Then the officer just started slowly pacing back and forth, thinking to himself. Finally, he looked at the men in suits, who stepped forward. They said, "Okay, gentlemen, what you saw, you did not see. You were not over that area. You will never go over that area. You will never ever talk about this ever again. Understood?" The crew agreed. Brian's been retired from the Navy for a few years, and even though he's never signed a non-disclosure agreement, he's still not comfortable giving his full name.
Smart.
He was with the Navy for years and flew hundreds of missions in Antarctica. He saw silver UFOs on many occasions, as did other flight crews. It was such a common occurrence that it became routine banter at the mess hall. Brian didn't think much of the incident until a few months later. He was assigned to fly a group of scientists to the dome at the South Pole. The dome was decommissioned in 2010, but at the time there were other buildings inside the dome. Obviously offices and labs, but there was also a galley. Brian was in the galley one day and overheard some civilians talking about the infamous air sampling station. You know, the one in the no-fly zone with the
Asparagus ice hole.
a giant hole in the ice, yes. The civilians were saying that they were going back out there to meet some visitors. Brian heard other crews saying similar things. They were taking people to the hole at the South Pole to talk with visitors. Finally, Brian asked what they meant by visitors.
"What do you mean by visitors?" And he said, "Well, my impression was that they weren't human." I said, "Human?" You know, I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "It seemed to me they were talking about like an extraterrestrial or an alien, because they didn't refer to them as a person, it was a visitor."
The rumors had been circulating for years. The 300-foot hole in the ice is an entrance to a base where humans and aliens are cooperating on some type of project. What the project is or was, we don't know. This was the 1990s. But now we have Google Earth. The military is doing their best to cover up their activity in Antarctica, but there are some photographs that they just can't explain.
Why so serious?
Dreams feel real or real. It's only when we wake up that we realize something was actually strange.
I'm not going back. We're gonna die. Where's the bloody Air Force?
Tell us, Dwayne, what do you fear?
Hey, Pennsylvania homeowners. Want to know how to switch to clean, reliable solar energy at no cost to you from the comfort of your own home without speaking to a pushy salesperson in your kitchen? Stick around for 30 seconds and we'll tell you how. So, most people don't know this, But in 2005, the federal government passed the Energy Policy Act. This federal law actually granted homeowners the ability to take advantage of thousands of dollars to upgrade their homes to solar at absolutely no cost. That's why you've seen so many of your neighbors going solar. People are literally getting paid just to go green. But like all good things, they come to an end. Solar is a first come, first served basis. So if you want to find out exactly how much that you can save and how much you can get paid to go solar, I want you to click the blue button, take a 60-second solar quiz, and after that, you'll know exactly what your chances are on getting paid to go solar. And I know what you're thinking. This all sounds way too good to be true. Just wait till you hear this next part. Homeowners have already made the switch to getting solar on their homes at absolutely no cost. I've been able to save upwards of 30 to 50% on their utility bills without spending a dime. But here's the thing. So many people are taking advantage of these state and federal subsidies that they're starting to wind down, and eventually, in 2021, the federal rebate can go down by as much as $4,000 before disappearing completely. So don't miss out on your opportunity to take advantage of this program. Just click the blue button that I've been talking about, take the 60-second solar quiz, and find out if you qualify. What are you waiting for? So just because you click on the little blue button doesn't mean you're going to miss out on the video that you actually came here to see. So take the quiz, and in 60 seconds, you're going to find out exactly what you qualify for. Now, after the 60 seconds, YouTube's actually going to bring you back to watch this video. So click the link, take the quiz, and find out how much you can get for switching to solar.
In 2007, a very suspicious image appeared on Google Earth. It's a cave entrance that seems to have stairs leading to it. The ground around the entrance is discolored, as if machinery or equipment was moving in and out. The opening is about 250 feet wide. A few months after the image was released, it disappeared from Google Earth. Then sometime around 2019 or 2020, the cave entrance reappeared. But this time it doesn't look much like an entrance. In fact, even though this photo is 10 years newer, the resolution is worse. We see better detail in the older image. That's suspicious and feels like a cover-up. And speaking of cover-ups, a very interesting story appeared in the Free Republic News on April 13th, 2002. The headline read, U.S. denies spectacular ruins in Antarctica captured on video.
What?
Well, here's what happened. A TV crew for a production company called Atlantis TV went to Antarctica. They were investigating a massive archaeological dig rumored to be happening 2 miles beneath the ice. Well, the crew disappeared.
Yeah, I saw that coming.
But Navy rescuers found their camp and some of their equipment. Among the items found was a videotape. 2 Navy officers showed the footage to scientists when they returned to McMurdo Base. What they saw on the tape was, now here's the quote, they said it showed spectacular ruins and other things they couldn't go into. A secret U.S. military expedition apparently discovered an ancient pyramid temple complex 2 miles beneath the ice. So pyramids are showing up again. By the way, the U.S. military blocked the tape from being released. Atlantis TV sued to get their property back. They didn't win. As far as I can tell, they went out of business a few years ago. Other odd images have been spotted on Google Earth, like this one of what appears to be an alien face.
That's like the face on Mars.
It reminds me of that too. Then there's this photo of what looks like a spaceship that crash-landed. People have mentioned the shape of it looks similar to Oumuamua.
Muahua?
Oumuamua was first spotted in October 2017. It's the first known interstellar object to pass through our solar system. Its name means scout or messenger in Hawaiian. What made Oumuamua strange were its shape and the way it moved. It was about 400 feet long and 60 feet wide. This cigar-like shape is unlike any other space object we've ever seen. And somehow when Oumuamua left our solar system, it accelerated. This shouldn't have happened. There are rumors that a secret mission went to Oumuamua and said it was a derelict spacecraft. If that's true, then it could be a probe. one of many flying around our galaxy, perhaps from an alien race looking for planets with life.
More planets to conquer.
Well, there's always that risk. Aliens will discover our planet rich in resources and want it for themselves. But according to witnesses, documents, and images of Antarctica, the aliens are already here, and they have been for a very, very long time. There are so many stories, rumors, and legends about Antarctica that it's impossible to cover them all in one video. If you want me to go into detail on any of today's stories or any others, let me know. There's a lot of material out there. Now today we focused on the Younger Dryas impact theory, which moved Antarctica to a different position. We covered the caves and a few photo anomalies. We talked about the Navy SEAL who actually entered an alien facility, and we talked about Brian, the Navy pilot, who saw UFOs and
the giant Vatican ice hole.
Right, the 300-foot wide hole in the ice. Fine. What's true and what isn't? Well, Brian's story is tricky. There is no photograph that we know of that hole in the ice. As far as I can find, there are no other whistleblowers. Whoever the missing scientists were, they're not talking. Now, Brian sounds sincere, but still, I'd take his story with a grain of salt. But Brian's reports of UFOs zipping around Antarctica are confirmed by multiple witnesses. UFOs are down there, I have no doubt about that. But the photos of the pyramids are also tricky. Some look like nothing more than pointy rocks. But there are a few that definitely look man-made.
Or alien-made.
Right. Now, I'd be interested to know if they had 8 sides like the Pyramid of Giza, but I couldn't tell from the photographs. The face, I'm convinced that's just pareidolia. Pareidolia is when our brains see objects in random patterns. But I have to admit, that definitely looks like an alien face. I don't think it is, but I'd love to be wrong. Now, according to mainstream science, the crash-landed spaceship is a boulder that rolled down a hill, or a piece of ice or rock that slid down a hill. Now, at first, this sounds ridiculous, but we rarely see the full image. In the full image, like this one from Forbes, you can actually see the outcropping where the boulder came from, so this one's probably debunked. Next, the Navy SEAL who found and entered the alien structure. Again, he's the only one telling the story. He won't give his name or what SEAL team he's with. So again, all we have to go on is his word. Now, by the way, a lot of today's information comes from a documentary by Linda Moulton Howe. It's called Antarctica: Alien Secrets Beneath the Ice. And you can rent it on Amazon for $4, and it's worth every penny. In the documentary, the whistleblowers go into much more detail. They make sketches about what they saw. They talk about the stargates all over the planet that can take you someplace instantly. Some stargates can take you to other planets instantly. Anyway, I linked to her doc below. Now, as you know, I'm normally very skeptical of stories where we only have one witness. But Antarctica is a strange place, and I'm sure things are happening down there that are being hidden from the public. Now, the only way to access Antarctica is with permission from one of 12 government signatories of the Antarctic Treaty signed in 1959. This treaty divides the continent into zones administered by the various governments. It's a continent larger than the United States, and you're not allowed to go there. Now, there will be people in the comments saying, of course you can go there. You can take cruises there. You can even arrange to stay at one of the outposts. All that's true. But these are designated areas. Let's say you had the resources to fly a plane to where the hole is supposed to be. You can't. Thousands of square miles around it is a no-fly zone. You cannot explore Antarctica on your own. Now, the official reason for this is that human activity would disrupt the ecosystem. Now, that's a convenient excuse. Most of the surface is dead. There is no ecosystem. Besides, I don't care about the surface. I want to know what's underneath the ice. They're not going to tell us. The Antarctic Treaty was signed in December 1959 at the height of the Cold War, and it's never been broken. Now, I've heard that World War III will not come from a conflict near Russia or from something happening in the Middle East. World War III will occur when someone breaks the Antarctic Treaty. And if any of these whistleblowers are telling the truth, the United States already has broken the treaty. They claim major archaeological projects are underway right now miles below the ice. But maybe the treaty hasn't been broken. Maybe all the governments are working together to uncover something. Or they're working with, as Brian claims, several species of aliens right now. Now, could there be ancient civilizations buried under the ice, frozen in time like the city of Pompeii? Sure, but until we're allowed to dig, we'll never know. But could there be an active civilization beneath the ice? Scientifically speaking, absolutely there could. Antarctica is the most volcanically active place on Earth. Geothermal heat could provide fresh water and a very comfortable climate for life, intelligent life, and not in small pockets. There are caverns beneath the ice that are said to be larger than Manhattan Island. Now, we'll never know until we're allowed to dig, which we'll never be allowed to do. But here's a small wrinkle: global warming.
Here we go again with the global warming myth.
It's not a myth. The Earth is warming. Whether it's because of human activity or just part of the Earth's natural cycle, we don't know, but the Earth is warming.
How dare you!
So whether by pollution, an asteroid impact, or a massive solar event, there is a chance the Earth could warm quickly, like during the Younger Dryas. Then Antarctica would be free of ice, as it once was. Then the entire Earth would experience another cataclysmic flood. And if there is a civilization beneath Antarctica, it would be revealed. Now, if this global disaster happens, I guess there is a bright side. Civilization will continue. It just won't be ours. Thank you so much for hanging out with us today. My name is AJ, that's Hecklefish.
Don't try to catch me with a hook, human. A fisherman caught me on a hook once.
This has been the Y-Files, and if you had fun or learned anything, do him a favor, subscribe, like, comment, share. When you do that, it's like giving him a shiatsu massage. He loves it. Like most topics we cover on the channel, today's was recommended by you. So if there's a story you'd like to see or learn more about, go to theyfiles.com/tips. There's so much more about the South Pole that we need to get into. Oh, don't forget, the Y-Files is also a podcast. I post episodes twice a week, diving deeper into the intriguing stories from the channel. There are also exclusive episodes with content too hot for the channel. Check out the Y-Files Operation Podcast wherever you listen to podcasts. Now, if you need more Y-Files in your life, and most people do, check out our Discord. There are thousands of people on there 24/7, and they talk about the same weird stuff that we do. It's a great community, it's a lot of fun, and it's free to join. Now, if you want to know what's going on with the Y-Files, check out our production calendar. It's at theyfiles.com/cal. There we post our episode schedule, upcoming podcasts, live streams, everything. Special thanks to our patrons who make this channel possible. Every episode of the Y-Files is dedicated to our Patreon members. This channel could not survive without your support, and I'm truly grateful for it. And if you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a member on Patreon. For as little as $3 a month, you get access to perks like videos early with no commercials. You get merch available only to members. Plus, you get 2 private live streams every week just for you. Another great way to support the channel is grab something from the Y-Files store.
Get yourself a Hecklish t-shirt or a fistable coffee mug that you can fill with a delicious beverage of your choice. Or grab one of these squeezy stuffed animal Hecklish, Talkovish, Hecklish, Talkin', Hecklish, I'm running out of breath trying to sell the Hecklish Talkin' Squeezy doll.
And those are the plugs. Until next time, be safe, be kind, and know that you are appreciated.
Ascension WoW is a standalone World of Warcraft private server that reimagines WoW in a brand new way. Instead of choosing classic character select, you'll instead take up the mantle of hero. Mix and match spells and talents from any class in the game to forge your own unique champion. Challenge them against a classic Vanilla Plus setting with new original content. Discover 1,500 new abilities and talents. Team up with allies to conquer dungeons, raids, and battlegrounds. Explore new mechanics, new challenges, and entirely new game modes like the Manstorm. An endless wildcard dungeon you can play solo or with friends. Anyone can play for free on Ascension, just by creating an account. If you've never played WoW before, you can experience the wonder of Azeroth for the first time. If you're a WoW veteran, you can use your knowledge to craft an insanely powerful hero. Explore Azeroth Reimagined. Forge your ultimate classless hero. Welcome to Ascension WoW.
Hey, I'm Katie with StreamYard, and today I'm going to teach you about our new feature, Local Recordings. We are super excited to give you even more ways to level up your recordings, podcasts, webinars, whatever you make on StreamYard. All of these methods of content creation.
Get it. To the no, wait a minute, not the classroom. My bad. Let's go to the main. Drop a bomb. Appreciate you all for joining. So yeah, man, you already know what time it is. Let me do my shout outs right now. Y'all ready? I ain't do my shout outs in a minute. I need to do my shout outs right now. I need to warm it up. I need to turn it up. Levante in the building. Chi-Town in the building. What up, Chicago? Hey. Kansas City, Missouri in the building. Hey. Columbus, I see you. Jacksonville, Florida. Duval in the building. What up? BX all day. I see you, Monty. What up? Oklahoma City, what's going on? Oh. Good evening. Bro, what's up, bro? Some pharmaceutical companies. And people are not able to ditch out prescriptions by way of, them doing it digitally. Because there's an outage for their system right now. I said, okay, so we went from telecommunications to pharmaceutical. Again, it's either an inside job or Anonymous came back. Like, I mean, which one is it? Usually Anonymous will get on Twitter and be like, yeah, we did it. You know what I'm saying? Somebody will brag about this. If it was a hacker, somebody gonna be bragging. Somebody gonna be bragging about that. Now I understand the pharmaceutical companies and you attacking them, but when you listen now, when you stopping people from getting their prescriptions, that's kind of defeating the purpose, ain't it? Like, I mean, I understand you coming at the pharmaceutical companies for whatever reason, prices are high, whatever reason, right? They shouldn't be charging for medical things anyway. I agree with you, but you coming at the folks' prescriptions now. I mean, you got them older folk that's dependent on that now, or you got some folk that's straight up dependent on that. Okay? So, and then, when you turn around, say for example, it's a hacker that's trying to do some activist stuff, you turn around and shut down the phone services. I mean, again, you got elderly people that need to be in contact with their nurses, and you know what I'm saying? You got people out there that's that's working, that could have possibly had an emergency. Anything could have happened. Hopefully they was able to dial 911. Not only just the people working. God forbid something happened to somebody in their house at that time. Couldn't get no signal. Because they wanted to tap into it. Make a statement. I'm just saying, to me, that sounds like an inside job. To me. I mean, should we go over 9/11? I'm just saying, because it sounds like it was set up to me. You running a test, and the only thing that comes through your cell phone is an emergency broadcast test signal? Oh, but no. The signal for to make outgoing calls and incoming calls ain't gonna work. But you get emergency alerts. Oh, okay. So that's on a separate. Oh, if it's separate, then what is it? Like, you explain that to me real quick. I mean, so we got one tower for incoming, one tower for outgoing, and where these text messages coming from? Well, they in the cloud. But wait a minute, the cloud received the signal by way of towers also, right? Satellite. So how is the cloud functional? That's why they call it the cloud, right? But all of it is still allegedly still in the cloud, right? Frequencies up high, signals waiting at different towers, different satellites. It's the same thing. How one work and the other one don't? Y'all can look this up. It was reports out there of people receiving emergency text messages, but not incoming and outgoing calls. They were prevented. Just think about that now. God forbid if something was to happen, and the only thing that you could do is receive a message from the president. Just think about that. You know they're getting ready to come out with that movie. That's going to be very similar. Called Civil War. I mean, watch how they try. Just watch these fools. They're trying to make distraction after distraction. And they're going to be like, well, what is that? And then at the same time, conveniently, at the same time as when Biden put sanctions on Russia. Convenient. So they can blame it on the Russians, right? So they can blame it on the... Where's Trump when you need him? I'm tired of these things. Listen, I'm not even a Trump fan, for real. I'm not no Democrat, no Republican. But goddamn, I can tell a big difference between Trump and Biden already. Like, I've been doing it the first week he got there. I was like, y'all done messed up and let this fool cheat and get up in there. But anyway, we gonna cover this topic. Speaking of that, I'm just saying, because the reason why I'm like, I mean, this, did y'all see, hold on, let me see if I can pull it up. Did y'all see what Trump did to Biden? I thought it was hilarious. Let me show y'all this real quick. This was absolutely hilarious. I retweeted this. Hold on. Oh man, you know what? This music may be copyrighted. Hold up. Now think about it. Oh man, I hope it ain't copyrighted. I'm about to play it. So it says Savage. Trump posted this on his Instagram account. Okay? So I don't know if y'all saw this, but this is what he posted, right? Living assisted service. I was laughing so hard, bruh. Elderly care, bro. That was funny as hell. But anyway, and he got the right to get at him because everybody in his system was getting on him, putting all this in. And that's the thing. I'm not Democrat or Republican. I'm not on either side of that crap. But you always coming at Trump as if he did something wrong to y'all. But outside looking in, because I'm not a part of any of that, you can tell that Trump a threat for somebody. You can tell. He must be doing something right for y'all to be coming up with story after story after lie. And then you trying to control the narrative. You spin something that he said, twist it up, and try to make it pretend like it's something that it's not. And I'm about to get into that. I'm about to get into that. And I'm gonna do less interruptions this time because I want the points to be made. I'm about to show y'all something. And I'm gonna start it off right in the beginning like this, too.
And before I go any further, let's be very clear that I am not endorsing any political party within this video or any of my other published works, investigative research, anything I write, or anything else that has to do with me for that matter. I decided to create this video because I noticed the pattern that popular news media outlets can use for someone else's advantage when it comes to breaking news stories concerning Donald Trump. Did you notice how rare it is to find a news media company that actually had something remotely nice to say about Trump? Now, don't get me wrong. There are many things that I disagree with when it comes to Trump's policies, executive orders, and thoughts on particular subjects, etc. But why is it that every single news media broadcast about Trump that we see campaigns negative commentary concerning his every single move, even before his announcement to run for president? And from a totally unbiased perspective,
I had my mic on mute. What I was saying was, I put this out in 2020. It is now 2024. That's embarrassing that this still reigns supreme right now. This is still true. Still true. Every time I think about this, and that's what made me, every news article that's coming out, or every news broadcast is coming out, I'd be like, yeah, it just reminded me of this. And I thought about it like, wait a minute. This is one of them that I debunked. Totally forgot that I did this. I was like, let me go over this. This is one of them. Again, like I said earlier, I'm not for neither party. You know, I'm not two heads of the same snake. I'm not for that. Some of you would say it's on the same bird. I mean, obviously, because a bird would have two wings, right wing, left wing. I'm just saying, it's a difference. Like we can't consider Trump a politician like everybody else. Like I can't. I don't see nothing that was political thing in which you about to see me point out. Some things that he wanted to do for the benefit of the people and himself at the same time. I'm going to be pointing that out, but it was also some things in between that he exposed. And I got to give him props for this, because this went past everybody's head. They didn't see this. Glad I did this too. You about to see, watch.
That doesn't seem odd to you?
Allowed any information that turned out to be so false and fake out. I think it's a disgrace. And I say that, and that's something that Nazi Germany would have done and did do. I think it's a disgrace. That information that was false and fake and never happened got released to the public. As far as BuzzFeed, which is a failing pile of garbage, writing it, I think they're going to suffer the consequences. They already are. And as far as CNN going out of their way to build it up, and by the way, we just found out I was coming down. Michael Cohen, Michael Cohen is a very talented lawyer. He's a good lawyer in my firm. It was just reported that it wasn't this Michael Cohen that we're talking about. So all night long, it's Michael Cohen. I said, I want to see your passport. He brings his passport to my office. I say, hey, wait a minute. He didn't leave the country. He wasn't out of the country. They had Michael Cohen of the Trump Organization was in Prague. It turned out to be a different Michael Cohen. It's a disgrace what took place. It's a disgrace. And I think they ought to apologize to start with, Michael Cohen. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I missed this part of Trump, though.
Not you. Your organization's terrible. Your organization's terrible. Let's go. Go ahead. Quiet. Go ahead. She's asking a question. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. Don't be rude. No, I'm not going to give you a question. I'm not going to give you a question. You are fake news. Go ahead.
Trump is famous for calling particular news channels fake news, and I concur that his assessment of these particular channels are royally accurate, being as though most of them are in fact affiliated with controlled opposition. See the video linked above to learn more about that.
I'll go over there later.
That being said, we can determine that some of these news media outlets are designed to formulate social influence, both the good and the bad kind. And what's alarming here is how particular news media outlets would literally chop and edit what Trump actually says about particular topics. And then they will go on with the broadcast for that day and make it seem as if he was saying something entirely different in a negative sense. For example, Trump was accused of mocking the American Indians when he blatantly called out Elizabeth Warren for identifying as an Indian in order to gain grants for higher education and among other things that she shouldn't have, due to his belief that she is not a real Indian, mocking her by referring to her as Pocahontas.
Who, Pocahontas? Pocahontas. Well, no, look, she is it offensive? You tell me. Oh, I'm sorry about that. Pocahontas? Is that what you said?
He went right back to it.
Elizabeth Warren? She is a senator that's highly overrated. She's passed very little legislation. She has been a real disaster for a lot of people, including the Democrats, who frankly can't stand her, many of the Democrats. Just ask Hillary Clinton how she likes her. And I would say...
You heard that, right?
I'll debate anybody. I don't
Hold
know.
up.
A lot of people, including the Democrats, who frankly can't stand her, many of the Democrats. Just ask Hillary Clinton how she likes her.
He always referred to her as Hillary Clinton. He never said her real name.
And I would say this. I'll debate anybody. I don't care.
Thanks, Hillary Clinton.
But she's done very little for Massachusetts. So I really...
Trump is famous for calling particular news channels fake news, and I concur that his assessment...
I never heard him say Hillary Clinton.
...are royally accurate, being as though most of them are in fact affiliated with controlled opposition. See the video linked above to learn more about that.
I'll go over there later.
That being said, we can determine that some of these news media outlets are designed to formulate social influence, both the good and the bad kind. And what's alarming here is how particular news media outlets would literally chop and edit what Trump actually says about particular topics. And then they will go on with the...
They don't look like Indians to me. And they don't look like the Indians. Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. And a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. When you go up to Connecticut, and you look, now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Now, because I'm about to dive into this a lot more. It's all the way to F down. And some people out there right now, they consider themselves Indians, and they was trying to say, no, Donald Trump was referring to the so-called black Indians. Connecticut. He was referring to black Indians in Connecticut, and they were so wrong, and then their feelings that I broke this stuff down. Again, that was you falling for whatever the media is trying to tell you without you doing proper investigation. I only show you, I prove it with his own words that he wasn't talking about no so-called black Indians. He was referring to something major. I'm talking about major that our people need to see right now. He know who the real Indians are, and he alluded to that more than once. Okay? And I'm about to cover that. Brother Coleman. Brother Coleman. Brother Coleman.
Yeah, I like Trump. Trump know who the real Indians are too.
I appreciate that, Brother Coleman. Elder Coleman always showing love, man. Always show love, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Elder. And big shout out to Mrs. Coleman as well. You know we love you. Appreciate that, Elder. Thank you. Always showing love. I was like, what? I ain't see that comment. I ain't see it. It went past me. Say it one more time about that casino park, because we about to get into that. Chance to see that. Hey, Louis Mound City, I see you. Colorado Springs. Yeah, people were getting on Trump and got it all wrong. And I had to do my own investigation. Like the same, investigation that these news reporters were supposed to be doing, and they didn't do it. And they didn't do it. And I'm gonna show you that they didn't do it. Watch. Not out of my own words, neither. And let me shout out Vincent Lawrence. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. Oh no, huh? Did you make a mistake, brother? That's but I appreciate that. But if you gonna test to see if it worked? In the chat, brother. Go in the chat. Because if that was just, I could refund you if need be, brother. Because I don't want you to think that you got to do all that. You don't have to do all of that. If anything, that would be at the kindness of a person's heart. And shout out to Quentin Rollins as well. Thank you for the donation. I appreciate that. That's his sister became a member. Mike Nice became a member. Light Vision became a member. Hey Y'all TV became a member. I like that. Mr. LaShawn Dobney became a member, and Knowledge Born became a member. I appreciate that, y'all. And oh my goodness, Sister Running There. Running There. I appreciate that, sister. Big hugs, firm handshakes. I appreciate that, sister. Thank you. Oh no. Yeah, showing love. I appreciate that. Running there, showing love, man. There go Elder Colvin. It's hard to type now. I can see you, Yellow Hammer, though. Y'all get the moderators pop up. Matter of fact, big shout out to the moderators holding it down. How about that one? Okay? Hold it down. Paid bump, gifted a membership. I appreciate that. Oh, CEO Catawba Can, what's up? BCU in the house. Oh yeah, definitely show love to the man. If y'all can, do me a favor, show love to those that showing love. Show love to the moderators. Show love to the donators, super chatters. I appreciate that. They ain't got to do all that, but they do it out the kindness of their heart, and I thank them. And I hope you all do too, man. We're a family here. We're a family here. Yeah, let's keep it pushing. So again, this is what Trump said. They tried to twist this narrative up. Now again, sometimes the chat will get glitchy when it's going too quick. Let's fix the chat with a whole bunch of bow and arrows, right? So spam the chat, spam. Let's fix it. Spam the chat with a bunch of bow and arrows, right? Some turtles, some bow and arrows, turtles, feathers, anything that you want in there, like some hearts, some, you know what I'm saying? Put it in there, brother. Blow the chat up real quick. Tear that chat up, man. Tear it up. We know you too, Goosey. Tear it up, man. Tear that thing up. Huh? Let me go to Just Chat so they can make sure they can see this clear, right? Blow it up. Come on, blow it up.
Now on this.
Blow it up. We ain't missing nothing. Ain't nothing but a play button. We ain't missing nothing. Member for life, Darcel. I appreciate that. Hey, man, look at that. Oh, man, this is all family right here. I appreciate y'all. Google is being Google, yeah. Don't worry about it, Vincent. Like, if that, look, you don't got it, Vincent. You can talk to me in the chat. You don't have to donate each time, Vincent. You don't. I appreciate that, though. Don't get me wrong. I really do. You definitely talk to me in the chat, brother. I wouldn't want you to have to keep doing that. Of course, I do see the donations that do pop up. Out to the Niji. Up to the Niji, you know what I'm saying? Dynamite that put grapes in the chat, like, well, what time you want? Like, it's late, I understand, but hold up. Huh? I'm messing around. All right, let's do this. Because look, when I see some grapes, you know what I'm saying, I'm thinking my wife feeding me grapes. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. And we trying to keep this professional here, okay? This ain't X-rated, okay? Put some socks in the chat. What is that? I didn't even know that existed. It don't matter. Blow the chat up anyway. It don't matter. Just not with socks, though. Some of y'all ain't take a shower yet. I don't want to smell all that from over here. You keep them socks to yourself, man. Darcel, thank you for the donation. Necro, thank you for thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. No, it ain't even take a shower just yet. Been outside and everything. You know what's going on. Been sweating, huh? Nasty. Hey, come on. Around, come on. Let's get it. Sweat. I'm gonna go back real quick, just a tad bit. I did already, didn't I?
How tough it is.
Yeah, let's just a tad bit so you can hear.
The old video resurfaced where Trump stated at a 1993 Indian Affairs Committee hearing,
"They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like the Indians." Now, maybe we say politically correct or not politically correct. They don't look like Indians to me, and they don't look like Indians to Indians. And a lot of people are laughing at it, and you're telling how tough it is, how rough it is to get approved. When you go up to Connecticut, and you look, now, they don't look like Indians to me, sir.
Now, on the surface, the media painted the picture around this time as if Trump was mocking Elizabeth Warren and the American Indians, when in fact he was simply exposing the fraudulent activities surrounding the acceptance of new members of Indian tribes and nations alike. Which I'll go into this topic a lot more here in this video linked above.
I'm gonna go over that video at another time.
Maybe tonight. Well, it depends. Trump stated that they don't look like Indians to me. Let's go over that information that some of these news media outlets either overlooked, never looked at, or purposely bypassed altogether in order to control the narrative. And be sure to leave your comments below and tell me what you think. Donald Trump appeared before the Subcommittee on Indian Affairs on October 5th, 1993.
Here we go.
And according to the transcript of this particular hearing, a lot of what was mentioned here has been edited out of the video by whomever news media company released this video, in part for defamation purposes solely directed at Trump's reputation as a credible source for Robert Torricelli's proposed legislation on the Indian gaming industry.
You are in the fighting ring of history. We stand with the people of Ashraf. We stand with MEK. We stand with the people in the streets of Iran fighting for freedom. We stand for freedom.
I may have got his last name wrong.
You stand to defend your corruption, your oppression, the denial of freedom. What will win, one will lose, one will die, one will live, and I'm betting on us every day of the week.
I'm calling you him supporting Trump.
And if you think that our internal divisions mean that a Democratic Party one day will return to power to save you, you are betting on the wrong horse. We stand with President Trump in destroying the regime.
On page 163 of the transcript is where Donald Trump is introduced to the committee by Robert Torricelli.
So this is his situation, and I don't know if I'm saying this guy's last name incorrectly, only because I believe I mispronounced a lot of Italians' last names in this video. It could be Torricelli, you know, I don't know. I just o'clock in the morning when I recorded this, so y'all gonna have to excuse me.
Who was a representative in Congress from the state of New Jersey. But just before Trump was introduced, Robert informed the committee of some very important concerns surrounding the Indian gaming industry. It says here that Robert stated to the chairman, "For almost a century, my state and many areas of this country have been plagued with the scourge of organized crime. It has been a parasite on businesses that have legitimately attempted to operate in my state, and indeed been an embarrassment to many parts of our community. After extraordinary efforts by the federal government and significant changes in the law in recent years, by any account, we are close to breaking the back of organized crime. But an extraordinary irony is arising. Just as we find family after family that are being
I'm gonna take a break right now and try to get some other stuff done around the house. Not gonna lie, yo, I really forgot that
to do background checks on investigations as
I have a business dinner to go to tonight. I have a business dinner I'm going to tonight. Forgot all about that shit. So get done around the house and get some lunch and chill out and play some games before I gotta go out tonight because it's not until 7, so I'll probably be out late again tonight, which is fucking gnarly. Damn, I keep forgetting about shit like that. But this piece is coming along awesome. I don't know, I might be back up in here later. I'm not sure. Damn. But you know, I appreciate you kicking it with me and chilling in the studio every time, bro. Get with you next time. Peace.